Hey, welcome to the hayfield here. We're getting ready to go bale a little bit of hay this afternoon. My name's Bret Smith. I've been with TriGreen equipment since its inception. I've been selling John Deere hay equipment and baling hay for over 50 years. I promise you I started real young. So, but I am getting on up there. We're only going to count birthdays on the odd years. I'm going to skip the evens now. But a lot of people ask me what's the keys to going out and making good quality bales of hay. I tell them first thing you do is you need to grow good quality hay. I can't help you with that. I'm not an agronomist, but I can direct you to people that are. But the number one thing to make sure you do so you have a good day in the field and not have a lot of breakdowns, and make sure you get everything hooked up right and get things tied up out of the way. This big gaudy looking flat right here plays an important role in big bulky windrows. When you get on a big windrow, it'll tuck right back up under here and it flows that hay right up under here into the pickup so we can make a nice good quality roll of hay. If we're coming out with globs and rolls from underneath here, when it goes into that baler, it can't change that. It's going to end up in that bale of hay in the same shape you put it into the baler. That pickup's going to grab it and stuff it up in there. So do all you can to make sure we can feed the crop in as smoothly as possible. Number one thing to save you a lot of downtime and a lot of expense is pay attention to this drawbar length. This is a universal length, 540, which is a 6-spline shaft. We want to be 14 inches from the end of the hole, from this hole here to the end of the PTO shaft, 14 inches. 21 spline on a 1,000 inch and 3/8 1000 is 16 inches, and then our big thousands are 1 3/4 inch, and we want to be at 20 inches there. It's pretty universal. It's on our Mocos, it's on our rotary cutters, pretty well every implement that's branded John Deere. We use a universal driveline length, so pay attention to that. And then we're not bottoming out, having problems in our turns or going up and down hills. You can tear up a lot of stuff if you don't pay attention to get that right. The next thing I try to tell people is do your best to get your tractor width set to match your baler. This tractor here, I hadn't got my tape measure with me, but we're baling with a 4-foot wide baler. We've got a 5-foot wide pickup. So I want to be at least 50 inches, 48 to 50, so I can feed the edge of my bale without having to get my tractor up on that windrow. The negative to that is if we're cutting hay with a 3-point mounted mower, we got to worry about how far that wheel is sticking out in front of our mower. So we may not be getting a full width of cut because we've got our wheel running out in front of our mower. But it really makes a difference on how you're packing that hay into the side of that bale. Everybody wants to ride by the bale of hay and they want to see that edge where it looks polished and shined off. And how we do that is we're putting the hay into the wall of this baler. We're packing hay in there and this wall shining it off. That's a trick that works with any brand, any color baler. So feed the edges. The middle pretty well takes care of itself. The next thing I want to make sure I do is I get my pickup set right. We can see under here, if we can get a little video, we like to see the teeth just clearing the ground right above the edge of our stubble. We're sitting here on a side field. We're not actually in our hay field yet, but we don't want to be digging up the ground. We set our gauge wheels to where they won't let us get too low. We want these gauge wheels to be able to pick this pickup up if we go over a terrace or through low spots. And this pickup is also supported by float springs. So this pickup will raise up and down on its own. It doesn't take a lot of pressure to do that. And we've got adjustments here on these float springs on how we set it. Also, the transport crank, the manual crank, I maybe can open this door to where you can see the business end of it. But this hand crank right here sets how far down. That's the furthest down this pickup can go. And then I've got my hydraulic cylinder. We're right in the center, so this pickup can still float up or down, whichever one it needs to follow the contour of our ground. And then all we do from the tractor seat is activate this cylinder. It raises our pickup up. We go to the next field and we drop it back down. And there we're ready to go. So once you set this, the only other time you would want to move that crank is if you unhooked it in the barn with the pickup down and you want to raise it up to pull it out. without hooking your tractor up or something like that. But, you know, get your pickup set right. Don't run it too low. We also, if you notice there on the front, we have some adjustment here in our tongue. There's several different holes positions here. And to get this adjustment, we're trying to get a perfect height. And the way I know I got my baler set high is this frame, this main beam coming down through here. I like to see that level, close to level as possible, because as this tailgate opens, you notice the seam of the gate, and where it opens, it's at a little bit of an angle, but we want the bale of hay falling out the back as the gates open. We really don't want it hanging up into the front half of the baler. So getting this thing leveled up, that's a key thing. There's adjustments on the wheels where we can go in different positions, 2 or 3 different heights there, and then plus in the tongue. So we get it all leveled out, makes our kick bars, bale ramps, whatever like that work better. It also leaves our pickup where we get the widest possible opening so we can get the large amount of crop up into the pickup. So if you got it setting too low, our pickup doesn't get to open up far. So then we're crowding hay in there, and we tend to have a plugging issue. So if you're plugging up a lot, double check and see if you got your baler leveled out right. This particular baler here, we're going to be running tomorrow. We're doing a field demonstration, and we're doing this in conjunction with our precision ag team, and all of our, we'll be promoting our documentation, operations center. This baler here has the onboard bale scales, and it also has the moisture sensor. So as we're baling hay, this thing's getting a reading of how much moisture we're putting in the bale, and we can set our baler to weigh every bale, weigh one every 15, or we can manually weigh when we want to. And then the way it works is, as this gate goes to open, as soon as these belts loosen and quit spinning that bale of hay in there, these cylinders will activate, and it will hook the side of that bale. And as that gate goes up, there's strain gauges in the hinge, and that's where it figures its weight. We calibrate it empty. Once we put a full roll of wrap in it and everything, we tell our monitor how much our gate weighs, or we let it figure that is. So that's 0, and then it can weigh our bale of hay. We can record this information. If we've got the right setups in our tractor, we can do remote display access. You can sit at the house and watch your man out there baling hay. You can see all the gauges and all the instruments, what's going on in the bale. It also stores it for you, so you've got good records. For the people that's putting up really high quality hay and want to sell it, it's ideal to be able to show this information. It's not something that's going to fit every one of our hay farmers, but in the future, this cattle business and high quality hay is going to be a place we need to go. So we just wanting to show this, showcase this here at our field day. We're cutting right now in the field, and we'll be baling tomorrow. We'll be putting this hay in wrap, so we're going to be make haylage out of it. You can do the same information for dry hay. We'll be doing net wrap. The baler here is capable the way it was ordered. It'll also do twine or net wrap. We can load our twine on both sides, and we can rotate in between net and twine. All we got to do is hit a button on our display in there. Stay green, stay TriGreen.